The coronavirus pandemic has dramatically affected the human condition as we know it. This has led to our race facing numerous atrocities. It is still unknown where exactly this virus originated from. The only fact known is that it began in the Wuhan province of China. It is also a well-known fact that China is reluctant to invite independent research groups to trace its trigger point. Could it be that they're trying to hide something big? Something so big, so shocking, that a normal person cannot even imagine about? There are plenty of unusual theories over the origin of SARS-CoV-2. From claims that the virus is a bioweapon, to the idea that 5G transmissions are behind this pandemic. There's been no shortage of hard-to-believe ideas. But there's one COVID-19 theory so remarkable that it makes the others look boring by comparison. The proposal that the coronavirus came from space. Space virus theory has been the work of a group of researchers, Edward J. Steele and N. Chandra. These scientists suggest that COVID-19 arrived on a meteor, which was spotted as a bright fireball over the city of Songyun in northeast China on October 11, 2019. They also suggest that the meteor was spotted over 200 kilometers northeast of Wuhan, where the first cases of COVID-19 were reported. It turns out that the theory of life and disease from space isn't new. This theory is called by many as Panspermia, and a handful of researchers, including Steele and N. Chandra, have been advocating this theory for decades. Panspermia is, broadly speaking, the idea that life arrived on Earth from space. And Chandra says it's probable that this comet has embedded an infective COVID-19 virus that lived in the meteor and survived. He also proposed that the meteor might have contained a cargo of trillions of viruses and bacteria and other primary source cells. Once landed on Earth, infectious agents are deemed to be widespread in the area, which might be carried on comets and may fall on Earth via the troposphere. These bacteria can and have in the past caused various known human disease epidemics, like the Spanish flu. This is not the first time that Dr. Chandra argues that the plague has an origin in the stars. He also previously stated that during the 1918 Spanish flu, some varieties of polio, mad cow disease, and SARS arrived on Earth embedded into a meteor or clouds, particles of comet dust. Theoretically speaking, biological materials could survive on a space rock if they were properly shielded from the radiation in space and managed to survive the process of impacting Earth. From the surface, though, this looks as an incredibly interesting prospect, as if, proven true, this theory could in many ways support the idea of the existence of extraterrestrial life. I came across some recent credible evidence, which is the only legitimate proof to support this theory. Some individuals suggested that if COVID-19 was brought to Earth by falling asteroids, that the rock would have not only fallen over China, but other parts of the world as well, in small or large proportions, and that different people might tend to contract the virus from there. I came across an interesting article relating to this aspect. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention, also known as CDC, confirmed in the month of May 2020 that a patient in California who tested corona positive did not really have a travel history in China, or for that matter, any other countries with confirmed cases of COVID. And it is also confirmed that this person was not really exposed to anyone with coronavirus. CDC Director Robert Redfield said that the health agency had already explained to the doctors in the United States that an affected person needed to have a travel history to China or be in near touch of a person who had tested COVID positive before. Hence, there's a lot of mystery about how did this person actually get affected by COVID, and where did this person actually contract the disease. There's not really much information available on this topic in public domain. Hence, there's not a lot that can be said about it, as there were no formal investigations carried out to look into this issue any further. N. Chandra was a student of the prominent astronomer Fred Hoyle. Although Hoyle was a renowned astronomer, he was involved in many controversies over the course of his career. Hoyle and N. Chandra conceived Panspermia while trying to explain the way in which interstellar dust absorbs light. They noticed that if the dust was composed of bacteria, this would produce the observed pattern of light absorption. While organisms in deep space could not be alive per se, Hoyle and N. Chandra believed that the space microorganisms might be able to reactivate if they arrived at a suitable planet, like Earth, and also possibly infect the native creatures, humans included. While this would be an incredibly unique and groundbreaking finding if this were to be true, from what we already know about this new coronavirus, called SARS-CoV-2, it actually lines up with what we already know about the terrestrial viruses. If this virus had some different kind of a biomolecule in it that's different from life as we know it, there might be a reason to investigate whether the virus actually has an extraterrestrial origin. However, even in that case, there could be many earthly explanations. Frankly, it's extremely similar to the first SARS virus, which came in 2002. So, even if one believes in viruses coming from space, COVID-19 seems to have an Earth origin, at least for the time being. Thank you for staying with me throughout this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and like this video. This would really mean the world to me. Thank you.